Still on our terminal, let's create the folder that will contain the contents of our API. So I'm going to cd into my desktop, and over here I'm going to make a directory, and I will call it for sale, as this will be the name of our project. Next thing I'll do, I'll cd into for sale, and of course open it in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so the first thing I'll do is I'll bump up the font so you guys can see what I'm doing. And the next thing I'll do is I'll open the integrated terminal using Control-tilde. Now I'm going to go ahead and close the welcome screen. And it's about time that we initialize a node project. And to do so is as simple as typing npm init. So npm init creates a package.json file, which is a manifest of our project that includes packages and metadata like the project name and author. We have a helper command line interface with a bunch of questions that will guide us in creating our package.json. So the package name for sale, that's what we want, so I'll hit enter. We're okay with version being 1. Description, we're just going to say simple API for now, and I'll hit enter. The entry point, we're going to leave it as index.js. Of course, we're going to change this shortly. Test command, I'm going to skip this because we're not testing. We're not using Git for this project, so I'm going to hit enter. There's no keywords going on. The author, I'm going to go ahead and type in my email. And I'm going to hit enter. The license, we're going to skip that. And everything's okay, so I'm just going to hit enter. And like I said, it's going to create a package.json file which contains various scripts and metadata about our project, like the name, the version, description. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a dev script. So dev, and this one will be as simple as node index.js. Matter of fact, let's change this and have this as source index.js, and I'll add a comma over there. So I'm going to save this file. I'll go back to our directory. I'll create a new folder and call it source. And in here, I want to create an index.js file, which is going to be the entry point of our application. So with that, we can go back to our package.json and change our main to source index.js. It's not going to make a difference, but I mean, it's right to do so. So we'll go back to our index.js, and all we want to do for now is to console.log, and we'll have hello world for now. I'm going to save. So heading back to our terminal and clearing out everything, I'm going to go ahead and type npm run dev. And this will run our dev script, which we just set it as node source index.js. So ideally, you should see hello world being logged onto the console. The next thing we want to do is to set up our Express server. So Express is a web framework that provides a simple API to build websites, web apps, and backends. So head on over to your terminal, and we're going to install Express by simply running the command npm install express. A quick glance at package.json, you can see that Express has been added to our dependencies. It's now time to create the simplest Express app possible. So I'll head back to index.js and delete everything. So the first thing we want to do, we want to require the Express module. So const express is going to be equal to require express. The second thing we want to do, we want to instantiate the Express app and assign it to a variable app. So const app is going to be equal to express. Now we want to declare a port. So const port, we're going to set it to 4000 or 5000 right now. And it's time to create our home route. So app.get. And it takes in two arguments. The first one is the route itself, which I'll just have a slash over there denoting our home route. And the second one is a callback function. Now we want to pass request and response. And of course, all we want to do right now is say rest.send. And again, we want to print hello world to our browser. Finally, we want to listen to the port we just created. So app.listen, and we'll pass in the port with a callback function yet again. And over here, all we want to do is we want to log to the console, and I'll add some backticks and say app running on port And of course, using interpolation, I'm going to add port over there and save this file. So finally, when we go back to our terminal and run our dev script yet again, so npm run dev, we should see that the up is running on port 5000. And when we open our browser and go to port 5000, we should see hello world being displayed. So let's do that. So on our localhost 5000, we have hello world being displayed. So let me just zoom in just a bit so you can see exactly what's going on. Okay.